Interesting. So apparently YouTube doesn't want this video actually going up. There it goes. Alright, YouTube, welcome to the second stream Sunday. My name's John, welcome to the channel. So today we're playing an old game. This one is called Geneforge. It's an old game. As you can see, 2001 is when this was copyrighted. But this game is actually kind of fun. It's more of a point and click, but you create your character. So we're going to change my appearance. I do prefer to run as a shaper. Blood red cloak. So we only have 15 skill points to allocate at the moment. So we're going to give some combat capabilities. Okay, so we've allocated our stats. This really is the best I can do to start off with, but eventually this character is going to be phenomenally strong. Alrighty, so the Shapers are the oldest, most respected, most secretive, and most powerful of the magical sects in this universe, and they have the power, using magic, to create life, using nothing but raw materials and pure magic. So they generally do this to create slaves. And they guard their secrets. Very powerful. And there are three different Shapers. You have the Shapers, which do create life. You have Guardians, which are basically Templars. They're knights. And then you have agents. Those are your spies, your assassins. So our character has just finally been accepted into the Shapers, and I'm allowed to learn the secrets. But they haven't been shared with me yet. I have to complete my apprenticeship, which is 5 years on a Shaper colony on a remote island, watching them work and aiding in their research. And welcoming ceremony and a final celebration, I throw on my Shaper's robes and board my craft. Now my craft is a living being, by the way. 2-week long journey on this living craft. It's one of the creatures called a drake, not specifically a dragon. And I start passing a small chain of islands. One of them is Susia Island, and it's barred. We don't know why it's barred, but if you show up on a barred place, you are to die. And what our character doesn't see, if you can already read this, we don't see the other ships sailing ahead of us. And my craft freaks out, and we don't recognize the weapon on the nose of the ship. Kills my ship. But not before I light its sails on fire. Now, all of my goods, all of my tools, everything goes into the water. Even I do. I swim, and can't quite make it, so my living ship helps. And now I am on Susia Island. So that is how we're starting this. And here we are. So like I said, it's kind of a point and click. We're going to get a lot of this text. Basically explaining the story, because there's not voice, there's not... Yeah, it's an older game. So, it's recommending that we move east. Now, if I can remember how to... that's how I move. So, I can search a lot of these things, like this. It's just trash. A lot of this is just going to be trash or empty. So, let's explore. Now, I have played this game in the past, so I'm fairly aware there's really nothing on this beach for quite a while. But over here, there will be. So, tunnel to the north, built into the side of a hill. It's near the docks, and it's typically going to be a storeroom. So, let's go take a look at what's inside the Shaper storeroom, and that's the Shaper symbol there, so... Oh, hey, look at that, a tunic. So, I now have basic armor. Let's see what this little pod thing is here. Has been a bit. It's just a basket. I don't care about baskets. Now, down here, there are some automatic doors. Just another basket. Bones. Ooh, javelins. I have a weapon. Woo! Bowl and spoon. A lot of these items are actually kind of useless. Even selling them, it's not really worth it. Okay, so now we're getting into the meat of this. This is something that is going to be crucial to the game. So, these things are glass canisters, about 12 inches tall. And there's a lot of them in this chamber that I just walked into that are already broken, but one of them is still good. And it does its own moving and things. Now, in this universe, we haven't seen anything like this before. But we've seen things similar. There's life energy that heals or energizes those in need. And that little triangle on the top is easily broken glass. If I break it, this substance will come forth and help us out. Or so we think. Let's find out what it actually does. I now have the ability to use Firebolt. There's an office, which is good. I think I see some coins up here. Yes, 12 coins and a cloak. So let's throw some of this stuff on real quick. Ah, we got a brass key. That's good. The motion in this is kind of annoying. Honestly, I think this game holds up well. Now, you may be wondering why this is taking up such a small portion of the screen. Main reason is because this does actually change the resolution of the game, of your screen to play the game. So what I'm seeing is actually a poorly rendered 1080p image. It's kind of upscaled it to fill my screen. What you're seeing is actually a more accurate image. Mine is a little whiter than it should be. Okay, so we just had our first odd effects of this substance we used. So we experiment a little bit. Hey, we can create flames. Woo! So this kind of starts delving into the core of this game, and I'm not really going to go into it. We're gonna experience this together, folks. But we now want to see what the canisters can do. Awesome. Hey, another stick. See? Stick. Some stones. Healing pod. Those are going to be incredibly useful. Oh, wait, that looks like there's something there. Ooh, thorns. So thorns are actually going to be good for thorn batons, which are basically this universe's guns. It's this universe's projectile weapons. So we gotta come in here. Ooh, there's my weapon I want. That's combat. Okay. So we have a dagger. Woohoo! And we're gonna grab a shield. We already have a tunic. And what we're thinking is guardians or agents used to be here, so this was a barracks. And like I said, guardians are kind of the army. They're the Templars, essentially. More tunics. Javelins. You can never have too many javelins. Dagger, not too concerned about. Alright. So we'll continue exploring until we get to a point where exploration becomes useless. Now, I do prefer to fully explore various areas before heading into combat. So we just discovered an inn. So we're discovering this used to be a large shaper colony. So we don't really understand yet why this island is barred. And so we're now wondering, well, what the heck? We will find out. Ooh, a robe. But but we don't really want the rope. We do want the belt, however. Some belts actually have special abilities, which will really help with upgrading our stats. Currently, we don't have that, and it'll actually be later in the game when we get one. It's not going to happen really anytime soon, for good reason. Okay. So we just found basically a cow. It's used for meat. It's called an orc. And orcs generally are not something we can interact with in the slightest. More areas of water. Ooh, a gemstone. Those prove useful for money, because we aren't alone here. Now, I'm sure you folks can hear the weird sounds being made. And that's because, well, old game. So it looks like we're not going to be able to come over here, and I don't have any living tools. So we're not going to get into that, unfortunately. At least not yet. We can always come back to this zone later. Now, the different zones are separated by a bluish tint, like right here. So this will take us to a new area. I generally like to try and fully expose as much of it as I can before moving areas. Welcome to Susia Island. This is the fun part. Okay. So we will have combat in this section. That much I can tell you right now. But I'm going to leave it to you to find out what kind of combat we're going to have. It's a shaping hall that we just found. So, this is where shapers do their work. And the disaster that barred this island did not happen here. We have learned that. There's energizing pools. They're living. They're semi-living. They're plants. Like, drawing energy from the air and the sun. And green is health. Blue is essence. Essence is basically your mana, so to speak. And there are some books that will be useful. And that is healing us. I think we're plenty healed. Let's read this book. Okay. So, this is telling us that being able to create a Fiora is going to be important. And we do have the fire shaping skills necessary to make a Fiora. So, we'll get there eventually. So we can have up to 7 servants. We can't get that essence back until the creation dies or we reabsorb it. So, now that it's advised us there, we're going to come up here. Let's see. Hey, we have an extra level of Create Fiora. What does this one give us? Heal. Ooh. Yeah, those are just beakers. There's our essence pool. Energy and essence. So, obviously, essence is important. It's what lets us create creatures. So, basically, we can use spells, lots of weak creations, or a few strong creations. Now, because we're playing as a Shaper, creations is going to be our best bet. So, let's actually craft creation. Boom. We can create a single Fiora. Now, I only have 14 essence, as we can see here. And we do want to give this some intelligence. So I can only really give it one more boost. Now we have our Fiora. So, let's see, we've explored that hall. Now, I am a bit strange. I do like to fully explore. We're not going to go into the forest just yet. The forest is actually kind of the last area we want to go, because we do want to have this map fully explored. Okay, now let's head towards the forest. Okay, evacuation was not completely orderly because we just found a body. Yeah, not much more than a skeleton, but it's a Shaper's. So, what do we get? Healing spores are different than healing pods. Healing pods help you. Spores help everybody. And we really don't need the rest. So, we're learning more at this point about what happened on this island. Because now, we found a dead Shaper. This is our first body that we found on the island. So, we're starting to learn something pretty bad happened here. So, this is the one that leads us where we want to go, I think. If it turns north, we know this is the one we want. And it does. So, we don't want to go up there quite yet. So, we're going to come over here. Also, because there's a pathway, that's why I want to come over here. And dead end. Alright, that's what I wanted. So now we're going to come back over here. So, like I said, I like exploring everything prior to continuing on, because then I don't have to go back unless I missed something. So, right now, this is actually going to really help us out with future exploration. This map does get incredibly huge. Okay, so we have now encountered our first rogue Fiora. So they're bodyguards, watchdogs, pets, basic. But we're noticing that this one actually appears to look at us as food rather than a master. And usually when a Shaper creates a being, that being just automatically obeys all Shapers. That's one of the rules of Shaper creations. So it does not have any Shaper controls. So I'm going to walk up to it and I'm going to kill it. Okay, well, we've now killed the Rogue Fiora. Oh. And there's another Rogue Fiora. Now, we do have the old school action point system. So, that is something we have to remember. Looks like nothing of real importance is in there. Let's come into here where we encounter another Fiora. Now, we did just get coins from that, which is why it's important to explore. Because later, our ability to get healing and weapons and repairs and such is going to entirely depend on our ability to acquire financing, so to speak. Oh, hey, a book. So, combat. Attacking is 5 action points, using an item is 3, things like that. So, this does have a being overburdened concept. So, dexterity, quick action skills also determine our order of attack. So there's a lot here that's very much like D&D. So, excuse me. So that's one reason why I love this game. It really gets you into the universe. And this is an old school game, so it does tend to run on rails. There's not really a whole lot of variation in this game. It is kind of open world. Like, it's not a true open world, but it is open world ish, because you're not required to go to any given location. You can pretty much go where you want. So this is that thorn baton I was mentioning. This is why we want all those thorns. Now, the thorns we have... Okay, we have 4 sets of thorns. 6 shots each. And these are broken batons because they're dead. Most everything a shaper makes is living in some way. An obelisk. This is the quarantine hall. All arrivals and departures must meet with servant mind before proceeding. So the servant mind is intelligent like a human, but the shapers create them so that they're so weak they're not only easy to kill, but they really have no power over anything else. They can't really do anything, and they're very stationary. And they're set up like that for a very specific reason. The shapers do not want any creatures to be independent. An independent creature is a dead creature in this universe. come on. Click on that. Thank you. Ooh, boots. We could use some boots. Again, we'll eventually have better boots that gives us extra abilities. But for right now... Well, that book is toast. So let's come on down this way. Poke our head into the other side. Servant Mind is going to be over here. So we're going to explore a little bit more first. So, as you can see, we're not able to go. That's because that door is actually controlled by the Servant Mind. So they have long lifespans, but they're, as it says here, they're very specialized, and once grown, it never moves. It spends its life in a stone crib, made to fit specifically that servant mind, and once there, it just thinks, remembers, analyzes, and advises. And that's it. That's all it does. Okay. So, we're going to ask it why this island was barred. It does not know. More than a century. We don't really know why Sissy Island was abandoned or any of that. Research is the only real answer he's given us. Yeah. Now, as you see, it has limited programming. And that's because it's a created being. So we're going to ask to pass. So it's analyzing us and says, hey, you're good. And that's really all we need. So now we're going to be able to go through the door. Servile. So, serviles are humanoid creatures. They have some intelligence. They're strong. They're basically farm hands. That's basically what they were built to do. And it looks like he's coming to talk to us. Timo. So this one is very happy to see shapers. So, as I mentioned at the beginning, Guardians, Agents, Shapers, all divisions are considered Shapers. So, our character's now realizing that things are a little odd here. So, I'm going to let him do his thing. I'm going to continue exploring. He's going to run off to Vakiri, his village. And we're going to kind of sort of follow him. And we're going to go to Vakiri. And now we can cross Abandoned Vale freely. So once we clear certain areas, we can just travel freely later on. So we now have a colony of serviles that we've just met. So, we're being watched. That's kind of important to keep in mind. Because the serviles really don't know how we're going to treat them. Now, for any of you guys that know how I like to play my games, I do prefer being Mr. Nice Guy. That's just how I like to play. So we're going to do a quick little exploratory jaunt through here. And I don't know why my game is lagging here. Shouldn't lag, my computer's powerful enough. Okay, so this way goes one direction, which they'll get mad if I do it, so we're just going to explore. Now, NY up here means not ours, but we are being watched, so we're not taking it. It'd be rude if we took what was not ours to take. So another area of stuff that is not ours. More stuff that isn't ours. But we don't have the tools to upgrade. Yep. There we go. Looks like this is a shop. Awesome. So now we have a way to meet people. Let's see what we can buy. So I can upgrade my armor and get chitin armor, which is good. If I really want to kill the guy, I can actually kill him and take his stuff anyway. So we're going to get a sword. Chitin armor, I do believe. And I think we're going to end with an iron shield. So what we're going to do is swap out our weapons. gonna sell a bunch of stuff. Okay. Now that we've sold stuff and upgraded our stuff, so we are going to, yeah, we're not going to open that. The problem is the creations will attack us if we attempt to break in anywhere. Or if we steal stuff that isn't ours. So we're going to avoid pissing off the local residents this early in the game. This is Dreets. Female. Oh boy. So now we're learning a little bit more about what's going on this island. There's two different sects of serviles, the Awakened and the Obeyers. So let's see. Now let's do a little bit of research. Now I need to find Sensia. Okay. More stuff that ain't ours. So I want in there, but I need 300 gold to do it, so we're going to hold off on that. I don't know where other serviles are, so we're not going to... Like I said, we're not going to work towards pissing them off. We'll get plenty of gold later. This path is going to be important at some point, I do believe. Hey, another Shaper Hall. More books. Stuff that ain't mine. So I believe that's going to be the same, yeah, same story for all three books. Stop. Learned Piner. Okay, so now we get to ask some questions. Let's start with why it was barred. Okay, so now we have a location where we want to go. So we're just going to go through questions, ask a bunch of questions of Learned Piner. Okay, so he's now answered every question I have of him. So I think it's time to come down here. So we're going to come over here. Oh, rather large building. Looks like apothecary? How does he know how to make potions? So let's look into some trading. Living tools. So this is what lets us break into things. So we're gonna buy some living tools. Looks like I only have one. Yep, I only got one of them. Oh well. And I need 3 living tools to open it. Okay. Looks like another thing we'll have to come back for once I get some more moolah. And finally, we are about to meet with Leader Kobar. Or at least that should have been where we met with Leader Kobar, but I think we're actually going to need to come up here. Oh wait, no, that was the... Huh. Wait a minute. This might be Leader Kobar down here. The game doesn't do, like, quest trails or anything like that, so sometimes it's hard to know where it is you're trying to go. Okay, so this is Brodus Blade. Okay, so Brodus Blade wants us to kill an entire group of bandits. It's kind of crazy. Okay, so we're not going to get any more information from that servile. This might be our guy. There we go, Leader Kobar. Okay, so this just told us about the three factions. Shaper haters, Shaper lovers, and people, serviles that want to be equal to the Shapers. Okay, so this just told us if we anger a sect, we will no longer be able to go through their towns. We'll basically have to wipe them out. Talk to the obeyers. So they're not fond of the obeyers. Okay, so that answers that. We've already skipped through that. Okay, let's see if we know about... Okay, we'd have to talk to Learned Piner to learn more, and we've learned as much as we can from her. Okay, so we have another quest. Okay, so they don't know who that boat that initially attacked us was. And we've already talked to them about the dangers they face. So now we have our quest. So let's take a quick look at our quest. So we can search the ruined school to the north of Vakiri. Open Ham's box. So Ham wants us to do that. Find Pixley and Earth. Kazg. Pixley is in Pentel. We need to eliminate the bandits north of the town. And we need to go to the east and clear out Watch Hill. But we are at just about an hour, so our time playing the game is just about done. So we're going to save. And with that, if you liked this episode, hit that like button, consider subscribing, comment down below anything you want to say about this game. Although, you know, let's keep it civil. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Now let's see about us exiting. Have a good one, everybody.